Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Pointless Perspectives. This week we're going to be talking about Alexa and Katie. It's a Netflix show. It's actually wrapped up this year. Um, it's kind of like a Disney show, but made on Netflix and not on
Yeah,
Disney.
yeah, I agree with that. It's like a solid show. Um, Entertainment value pretty decent, but yeah, definitely very reminiscent of not like current Disney shows, but like older Disney shows. I want to say.
Yeah, it has like the very Disney sitcom vibe
Yeah,
where like you can tell it's a studio, like a
yeah,
fixed studio that they have not, and it's just that room, and then they have people come in and out of.
yeah.
I don't know that just like the look of it is very like you
It's
fake. You know that it's
yeah, it's
sitcom.
very cookie cutter. Like everything looks almost too perfect sometimes.
Yeah, because it's a fake town.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, yeah, so it basically is about our the title gives it away. It's about Alexa and Katie. And they are like two like lifelong best friends, I want to say.
Yeah, since they were like babies.
Yeah, really cute. Wholesome stuff. And then basically Alexa got diagnosed with cancer at a young age, leukemia, I
Right
believe.
before freshman year of high school, she
Mhm.
got like confirmed to have leukemia. Yeah.
Yep. And then um so they had this whole big plan about how they were going to do high school together. It was going to be their whole thing. And then Alexa got diagnosed and obviously those plans were put on pause. And so this kind of takes place sophomore year after um sophomore year? No, just kidding. My bad. It
Yeah,
takes
I just said it's all
sorry.
about like how they're starting off high school without
Yeah.
it being normal. Like it's
Yeah.
them having to get through like
Well, she's in remission.
no, not at the start. The start
My
of the show, the start. Oh my god, she just like would you jumped like 7 steps ahead. I don't even know how you jumped that far ahead.
hold on. Oof.
It
It's been a
literally
while since
starts
I
off.
watched season one.
She got diagnosed in the summer, but she didn't tell Katie, and then she tells Katie right before school starts. Like they find out for sure that she.
For some
Oh,
reason, I thought she'd had cancer and she'd been diagnosed and like she'd gone into remission, come out, gone into remission.
uh, oh, I think it came back before
Yes.
freshman
Freaking
year.
heck, man.
No,
No, but freshman year. Oh my god, this is so bad. Okay, we have to check it.
but like the whole promotion of it was like that she just gets cancer.
No, she's recovering from cancer. Because she's finally like she missed out on like the first part or whatever, or like the first like official experience. Okay, so she has cancer, but the doctor clears her for school. Okay, and then she and like Katie get ready to start their first day of high school.
So they
But
already knew.
yeah, so they knew. So because of Alexa's chemo, her hair like falls out, and they have this whole thing, and it's like Alexa's really big into like basketball, and so one of the things that she can't do because of her cancer diagnosis is play basketball, and she's like actually like a baller at it, so it's like really
Yeah, but
sad for
I'm
her.
still right. It wasn't because she got it when she was little and it came back. It's just that it started
Bruh,
off the show as her already having it.
no,
It just got bad. It got worse right before school started.
no, hold on. Freshman year of their high school, two friends confront a crisis because she's ill with. Okay, maybe.
They would say if it was like that it came
But
back.
the thing is, then how did no? Because then how did the family? Why are we okay? The family knew about it. They were like like they weren't. It wasn't something that was like a new thing,
Yeah,
right? It's
because
some
it had started like end of middle school.
intriguing. Okay, well, anyways, it's about these two like best friends and the kind of obstacles that they come into contact with as a result, or not necessarily directly a result of Alexa's cancer diagnosis, and like just cute two cute best friends being themselves, going through high school, dealing with boys, all that stuff. Also, okay, real quick thing on the cast. So, we got a couple of like Disney and like Nickelodeon OGs. So you have first Jack Griffo, who is from the like famous Nickelodeon family show The Thundermans. Um, I don't know if people heard of it, but I did. You have Tiffany Thiessen, who was like in Saved by the Bell, White Collar. Um,
I was gonna say those were not Disney shows, but yes.
Sorry. Back to the Disney show
Which
aspect of
again,
it.
it's something we talked about in the White Collar episode. Actually, is about
Yes.
how they kind of use Tiffany as like the lead star in the show to
Mm,
grab people's attention to watch it. Even though now I feel like with White Collar and stuff, she's kind of made a name outside of that show. Like
yeah.
she's one of the few in from that series that's still like
Still acting, I guess.
yeah, coming out in like somewhat hit shows.
Yeah.
Like Alexa and Katie has good ratings.
Yeah. Okay, then you have Paris Barelk. I pronounce it. I'm sorry. But basically, she was from the Disney show. First, she was in um
I had not seen
the
her until the
med
show,
med
so I don't know.
something. She was in some thing with Bradley Student Perry and Jake Short, and it was about like medicine for superheroes, and she was a superhero in it. I'll
Lab
find the name
Rats.
at some point.
Lab Rats.
No, that
Mighty
was it.
Med.
Mighty Mint, that was it. And then she came on into Lab Rats Elite Force, and yes, and then the last person is Emery Kelly. He very random. But like back in the day, Disney had like those Radio Disney like band competitions. And so I think he was one of the bands that was discovered. And he was in like this band
I do think he
called,
sings, yeah. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
Forever in Your Mind since
Forever in Your
2013.
Mind. Yeah. He
Oh my
was in
god, he's
that band.
older than us.
Bloody hell. But yeah. And so now he does like solo stuff. But back in the day, that's where he's from. So you got a lot of like you have a lot of new people, but you also have a lot of OGs that have been in the industry for a bit. That was my 2 cents. Sorry.
No, I definitely noticed that about these like young YA sitcoms on Netflix. It's like almost become like there are people leaving or transitioning out of Disney and moving into Netflix stuff. And
Yeah,
like
Netflix.
they
Yeah,
start it's like Netflix is becoming like almost that Disney where you're seeing like people do like TV shows and then they come into like movies here and there. Like Paris. Ooh, Paris was in the show and as the show's going on she came into Tall Girl and did like a
oh, I
role
didn't.
in that movie. Yeah. And so like you're noticing in like their filmography their filmography that like they're starting to get more like Netflix original stuff
Yeah,
more
but
into their thing.
I think that a lot of that's because Netflix has so many like original stuff that they produce for like even like one season or like things that are like one-offs, and then if they're successful they go off, but there's so many opportunities there that it makes sense for them to just like go for it.
I mean, I was gonna say I also think so that was like one of the things is like Disney was, I think, doing like these contracts, right? Where like they basically stated that you had to do like movies or TV shows for like or like for this long or for this many original movies or stuff for like a certain set of time and then once that contract ended, you either go into like either leaving the contract or like restarting it or whatever the case is. But for some reason, like I think Netflix is kind of becoming that aspect where like sign like a contract and you're like having to do like a certain set of original movies and being a part of like TV shows. I'm not sure, of course. Like I just think that maybe just maybe it's like that where Disney used to have this contract base and like now people are not really liking the atmosphere that Disney once had, so they're leaving those contracts and just signing and doing the same contract base in Netflix. I could be wrong. That is what I think it is.
But
I
that
don't
that
know.
would make sense. That would make sense because like that gives like a solid reason for people to actually leave. And like,
Yeah, it's just I don't know, like I think Disney got I felt like Disney got a lot of slack. You know what it is though? I do think Netflix is better because Netflix is not so restrictive in you being who you want to be like outside of filming.
yeah.
Disney was because they were a kids channel, but Netflix is obviously very obviously not just a kids channel.
Oh
So
yeah.
like they don't need to promote like a certain persona to fit for that. Like Disney used to have like this thing you couldn't swear outside, you couldn't do this or that.
Oh my god, yeah.
And like they were really constrictive, which is why we got so many child actors and like
Yeah.
negative like effects from that, right?
Also, like they had like that kind of pipeline where you would go from like Disney Channel to like ABC Family. So even after you left Disney Channel, you would still have to be kind of more cookie cutter and like have that clean image even though you were on like a network that was a bit more aged up. Like Netflix, like you can curse and like you can live your life as like a 20-year-old or like 19 to like 25-year-old and like be okay and still have a career.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like, I don't think people like put it together. Like, I didn't put it together at one point, but like, right, like Zendaya, like she's was with Disney like through all throughout Shake It Up, and like did a bunch of like and did another show,
Yeah, but she only
Casey
signed on to that
Undercover.
because they gave her so much creative freedom.
Mm. But like, she also did original movies, right? She did music through Disney, Disney. And then when it felt like she was leaving that part, she ended up like even though it kind of was like doesn't click because that's how like big Disney is, right? But like she did Marvel as like this transition out, but Marvel is a Disney owned brand now, or at that point it was to, and it still is. So like she just didn't really actually leave Disney until Euphoria with
Yeah.
HBO.
And honestly, we love to see it because HBO doesn't give a shit. Like
Yeah, and
they're
it's creatively more entertaining. Like as an actor,
yeah.
I would think
Yeah.
to play such roles as like what she is playing right now.
Yeah, because it's something that like she's never necessarily had the opportunity to play. It's much more like serious almost and like
Oh yeah, it's
um
definitely serious for
yeah,
sure.
serious and like a little bit dark, definitely darker. And I think it also opened it up, like it gave her connections and opened her up to like she now has like this Malcolm and Marie project that she did during quarantine, during COVID-19, that like she worked with the director and creator of Euphoria, Sam Levinson,
Mhm.
and like they wrote and directed this whole movie and Netflix just bought it for millions of dollars.
Oh wow, I didn't even know. I mean, like she won an Emmy for that role. Like, right? Is like she became the youngest Best Actress,
Yes.
youngest to ever win Best Actress, and like that's just amazing. And like,
She's a force of nature, man.
yeah, she's like super talented, and now she's doing. And I think like Dune is also like a non Disney
Oh, I'm
related
so ready for it.
movie. Yeah, so she I think now she's young, but like she's been doing this for so long, she feels like a senior in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
But she is young. She still has so much to do, which is really
Yeah.
exciting for people to like wait for and see.
Yeah, on top of that, I think it's like because she's already like established her name, she also gets to be like a bit more like she's picked the projects she's picked have been really good projects and like she's now because like she's gotten recognized for her work and for her talent, she can be even more like picky and like only
Oh
do
yeah.
projects that mean something to her or that like add to her like skill set, things like that, which
Yeah.
is super cool.
I think people can dog Disney like as much as they want, and I think they have a right to, like with like the child actor treatment or just like conditions or like how contracts work. But one thing that I think that they can't take away from Disney is that Disney provides like a soup at least like 10 years ago, right? Disney provided a really big step off platform for young actors that needed a transitional point. Like when you're like Stranger Things boosted up these child actors, but before and like now Netflix is being that platform. But previous to that, no one had that chance to just like suddenly like jump up somewhere. So they needed to do it from Disney, and Disney gave it. Like, it gave the ability for you to start acting at a young age, get your name kind of out there because young kids are a great way to like get your name out.
Hmm.
And then they would be able to go on and do bigger things, which is what we're
No,
seeing now with those Disney actors.
yeah, yeah. Definitely agree with that. Like on top of that too, they like offered kids at a very young age, I think, the opportunity to like branch out and explore different types of entertainment. Like for example, like they had that like Radio Disney competition that like I mentioned
Yeah.
last time, where it's like they had a lot of their actors and actresses like try out music and make that music career. Like Zendaya, Bella Thorne, they all had like singing careers through Disney. Even Selena Gomez, Sabrina Carpenter, all people that like we know today that have either like stayed in acting or have transitioned into the music world.
Yeah, that
Um,
too, right? Like they give you the ability to do
yeah.
like music through them as well. I mean, there's some like iffiness to it, right? Like that is what one of the sus things about
Hmm.
Disney was like it was almost like everything they were controlling you at.
Hmm.
Because suddenly, right, like when music is supposed to be like this creative outlet, like you can't make everything you want to make through Disney. But like I do think that they respect like contract like terminations and like ending of contracts and letting you transition out. Um but like, you know, while you were there, you didn't get that creative control.
Yeah.
And yes, I think yeah, like even now like Disney has those multitude of outlets that you can go to that not
Hmm.
that anyone else wouldn't have. I mean,
They have
Disney
such
is a
a,
monopoly, so
yeah,
it's like
literally such like a monopoly, and they're such a big organization. Like I don't know, like what, 40 years, 50 years, probably longer they've been around, they've created like this huge empire. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised that they can like let people branch, however, as long as like they abide by their rules, obviously. And that's like the thing you're talking about where it's restrictive because it has to be by their rules, but you still get that opportunity and that exposure to all of these different like types, like TVs, movies, musicals in a lot of cases.
yeah,
Um,
books.
oh yeah, because, like, oh man, yeah. Oof. Yeah. And then you also get, like, because a lot of the times, like, if you've been there for a while, they give you the opportunity to, like, produce some episodes or direct or something like that. So you also get more on the technical side or production side experience.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting if you look at like the trend of like these actors. It's almost like once they hit like 18, they have to like they need to get out of there. Otherwise, it's you're going to because like all the shows you are going to be a high schooler
Hmm.
at the oldest, right? They don't go into college
Yeah.
or anything like that. And yes, they had the occasional like Wizards of Waverly Place kind of started to realm into college lifestyle a little
Yeah,
bit
with Justin.
with Justin, but like aside from that, like they know their audience cannot relate to those things. Like you can at least get kids excited for the concept of high school because you know everybody will go to high school, but you don't know
Hmm.
if everybody's going to choose or be able to go to college. So you can't pitch college education because it's not
Yeah, it's not
available for
necessarily,
everybody.
yeah, it's not as accessible. It's not as relatable. Um,
Yeah, so
and
at like
also,
18, 19, 20, like you see like all these Disney Channel stars kind of need
yeah.
to leave. They need to go out and do other things. They're almost forced to have to leave Disney.
Yeah. And then like the
Uh,
other thing is like, oh sorry.
No, you go.
Um like you can't, okay, so like in high school they can feed into all of those like stupid tropes like with the mean girls and the popular kids and all that stuff that they did when we were younger. But like in college, since it's basically it's stereotyped and like marketed as a place where like your worldviews are challenged and there's so much more freedom and there's this and there's that, they can't necessarily stick to the same niches and same like concepts that have worked for so long for them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, let's say, like, right now, like, Disney or whatever the case is wanted to, like, make, like, a college themed show, they wouldn't know where to start. Like, I don't think anyone does, which is why no one does it. Of course, it all just has to happen when someone needs to start something. But I think college is become weirdly known for just like what? I don't know, like I don't know, like yeah, like challenging worldview and like, but it's like about more mature relationships past just like kissing, right? And so
Oh
they
yeah.
can't really talk about those things. I mean, like
To like a
Netflix
kid
be
audience.
yeah, I mean like Netflix be doing that for high school relationships in their TV 14 shows, or like CW and like ABC will be showing high school relationships being as frivolous, is that the
Yeah.
right word?
But I think
As
like the
crazy as we would what we think is more college
yeah.
storyline.
But I think like the thing with like Netflix is because they didn't start out as like a kids only or a kids targeted like corporation or like streaming service. Like they started out with like movies and like not even TV shows. It was movies, and most of them were like action and like killing and guns and pew 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 type shit. And like because they started out without that kind of like kid focused approach, it was easier for them to go into more mature things. And like their built in audience that they have is like one of older people. And then like now, if they have kids, they're like, oh, cool, Netflix has options for kids too. But since
Yeah,
Disney
you just put
started out,
Netflix just puts like strong. You can control Netflix because it's a subscription service, and it's
that
like
too.
they were built as they built the user interface or like the UI to be
Mm-hmm.
like adaptive to like what you want out of it, right? Like that's why they
Mm-hmm.
have like a recommended list and you can watch something whenever you want to watch something. But Disney Channel, it's a cable channel at a time where cable wasn't interactive. You They just broadcasted shows at certain time slots and you sat there and you watched it at that time slot.
Yeah.
This was also like early 2000s was also before you could DVR it, like record
Record.
and like save the show for you to watch later.
Yeah.
So, right, like so now with Disney Plus, we can get that interactiveness where they
Mm.
can possibly, because they're more than just Disney Channel, they're like Marvel and uh no, what was it?
They have ESPN now, like as their
Star
bundles and
Wars.
stuff
I
like
was like,
that.
where?
Star Wars.
Because they have
Oh,
like
that's what you were going for, Star Wars.
yeah, and so now they have like those movie industries which are obviously way more mature than what Disney Channel is. So you
Yeah.
can now go on Disney Plus for mature content that's also made by Disney. Like
Yeah.
Disney original shows don't have to be
Yeah.
limited to like
Yeah.
Alexa, Katie, or
Yeah.
uh
Or like High
type
School
stuff.
Musical, this musical series or whatever. Like the thing is like because Disney like started out as like that kids channel, you also have a lot of backlash from the moms if you even include like something that might be even perceived as like more progressive or radical or
Yeah.
like mature. Like cuz I remember like there was like an episode of Andy Mack where like Annie Mac in and of itself was like a controversial show where you had the sister was actually spoiler alert the sister was actually like the kid's mother, Andy's mother, and like
Oh,
they
but like they raised him making him think that the mom was a sister because she was so young.
that the mom wasn't the sister. They raised Andy, so her sister's much older, and so her grandparents, so the sister's parents raised Andy for the majority of like her 11 years of life, and then when she was 11 she found out that her sister Bex was actually her mother and not like her older sister.
Oh, but Bex wasn't in the picture.
Yeah, Bex was like going like she was like she would come in and out of like her life like
Mm.
as she grew up, but then she found out and it was like dun dun dun, and then it dealt with like teen pregnancy, and like there was somewhat of like I think kickback from like the moms. They're like, teen pregnancy? What? Whomst?
I
Where's the
don't know. Oh, yeah.
dad?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
all that stuff.
All the teen pregnancy stuff that Disney did was in ABC.
Yeah. The secret life or whatever thingy with
Secret Life of an American Teenager.
I don't even know what that show was about. All I know is that that
It
girl
was
from
it,
Divergent was in it.
yeah, Shailene Woodley literally gets pregnant. Literally gets pregnant. She gets pregnant. Yeah.
Oh,
I
is
don't
that?
even know what it's about either because that show came out when we were way too young to watch it anyways. So
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. But yeah, so yeah, I guess I don't know. Disney is trying to be Netflix, and Netflix is having more shows that make it more Disney like channel esque. Like even so, oh, another show that came out that's kind of in the same league as Alexa and Katie is Julie and the Phantoms.
I need to watch that. I haven't watched it.
It's so because it's directed by Kenny Ortega and like he actually made the band and like man's okay, Kenny Ortega is like amazing. He's done all of like the solid Disney original music
Musicals. I think he's just
movies.
really good with musicals. So
Yeah, he's incredible. He did High School Musical, banger, all of the High School Musicals.
does he
He did
screenwrite? Like, does he write the stories, or is he just
I
directing?
I think he does a bit of both. Like he helps with everything because he does he helps with musical arrangements, he helps with the
That's probably what I
choreography.
was gonna say. Like, there's something that he must be doing that like makes his stuff stick out, and I think it's like songs and like
Yeah.
because like directorially, like when you're young,
Yeah.
watching his stuff, you're not gonna pick up on that. And I
Mhm.
don't think there's anything amazing about the way that he's directing and like cutting
Yeah.
things. I mean, it matters obviously, like how things flow,
Yeah.
but like something else must stick out to when you're a kid
Yeah.
watching.
I think on top of that, like he like genuinely builds like a really good rapport or like relationship with his like characters, with his
Rapport.
actors. Sorry, that was an SAT word. I'm educated.
No, but like you said, rapport is that the word?
Yeah, the rapport.
Oh, I thought
Rapport
it
is a
was
word.
repertoire. I don't know what I'm on.
Repertoire, that's like your skill set. That's like what you got in your arsenal.
We go to the same college, folks. Just putting that out there.
You know yeah, so basically he establishes like a good relationship with like his peoples, like literally the cast of um Julie and the Phantoms, like all of the guys that are in the band like went to a trip on a trip to Hawaii with Kenny Ortega, just like because they are like so tight with each other and
Oh
they
yeah,
just
I think
like
everybody that works with him enjoys working with him, which
yeah.
then translates with chemistry on screen
Yeah.
and
And they make it makes them happy to do the work that they do,
mhm.
right? So yeah. Um sorry, my tangent, but Julie and the Phantoms, good show, really good music. Cute lead singer. Um
Yeah, you haven't just mentioned it. I think someone else, some other friend of ours mentioned it, and so I
Charles Gillespie, man. He's a
not the
good-looking
not the
dude.
actor, not the actor, just the show in general. Okay,
Oh.
you were the
Oh.
only you just okay.
That's
I
cool.
wasn't even talking about
Can you cut
okay.
that out?
No. I think in general, like I heard another person mention the show, so I might check it out. I just don't know.
Wow, you couldn't just check it out because I told you to check it
For
out.
some reason, Alexa and Katie, like I think that it being about a more serious topic than just like, oh, it's high school troubles.
Yeah.
It's like about something more like intense, and it really focuses on friendship and like getting through a tough time. Like that's what enticed me, and versus like a lot of these other shows, kid shows that I've been seeing pop up here and there. Yeah, so I guess like a right like Julie and the Phantoms is a cool concept, but like it's just like to me like another musical, so I don't like click it as
Yeah.
like anything more than just like
No,
high school
yeah.
plus.
Like my big thing with Julie and the Phantoms was just that like the whole I have a problem with like the whole concept being so unrealistic. Like I want to know like what caused these like why can she only spoiler why can she only like see these ghosts and like why is like what
I
is
think that's
the
the whole premise of the show, so I don't think that's a spoiler.
oh I mean yeah that's true
But I would have had expected that in that season that would have been like the
it
reveal.
yeah it wasn't
I'm sure they intentionally didn't reveal it
so
to
they
hold
would
you
get
on.
season 2
Yeah, to hold
yeah
you off on just.
yeah but
And I'm
like
not gonna
in
share more about like, how it ended because then I don't want to get spoiled either.
oh no, no, I won't tell you how to. But basically, like in Alexa and Katie, for me, well, there's two reasons I watched it. One is because like the premise is more believable, and so like I like that kind of realism aspect.
Yeah,
Because
it's more raw. It's like, I mean, it's so done up, of course, in a lot of
yeah,
ways, but like it's that concept of emotions, mental health,
yeah,
how a young person is going to react to
like a traumatic.
tough life events, like
Mm-hmm.
that's something different.
And like on top of that, like how it affects families and friends, and like how each of them like cope with it in their own way.
Yeah,
Um,
it
and
was
so yeah,
yeah, it was good how they showed because they showed Alexa react poorly to everything.
yeah, and
I was like,
like
she's a bit loud. She's a bit, she's a very upbeat person, but like when just as much enthusiasm she shows in things she loves, she shows in
yeah,
like her anger when things aren't going right.
and I like that a lot because it's very authentic. It's like very transparently like, yes, that's how someone would react. Like with all of the passion they have for like she has for basketball, she's like putting fueling that passion towards like hating her situation or being unhappy in that and just frustrated, right?
Or not wanting to talk or open up about
Yeah.
things, and therefore and because she doesn't talk about it, it affects the way she talks and reacts to her family and friends,
Yeah.
and how she like views herself and how she does in school. And those are
Mhm.
real things that like we don't think about, like like we mentioned, I mean, it like there's a point where like things seem to be going well for her, but like her mental attitude and like the way she is to her family, like it isn't going well, and she
Yeah.
doesn't, no one around her can read her mind, and therefore they don't understand
Yeah.
she's feeling. But on top of that, like she doesn't understand what she's feeling. She doesn't realize the fears and the stresses that she's put on herself, and that she goes out and like she gets help for it, and like reaches out to a professional.
Yeah, it's like what I liked about it was that it's like stuff that we all think about sometimes that goes through our heads, but it's never really explicit or like I don't know, it's not really necessarily communicated to younger audiences. And so
Yeah.
what I liked about this is like it shows like yeah, this is the reality. This is like you can reach out and especially to the people that love you or like that care about you and that's okay, but you're going to deal with like mental health, you're going to deal with stress, you're going to deal with changes in life events, and you're going to react poorly sometimes and that's okay. But this is just like saying it's basically exposing them to that and saying it's okay and showing them possible pathways to like dealing with that.
Yeah, I'm thinking like how, I don't know what I was thinking. I think I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. But
No,
side
no, no,
note,
it's fine.
Um, side note, a little tangent. Another reason why I watched this show is because Paris and her then boyfriend were in the show together, and I was really intrigued to see like,
They're back together now.
no, they're not. She has a new boyfriend.
Oh, so they broke up again?
Yeah.
I knew that during like the first season of the show they were dating and they were together as they were filming the show, and like dating in real life. And
Mm-hmm.
then they broke up around like season 2. And then at
Mm-hmm.
the end, after season 3 came out, like the show ended, they got back together.
Yeah. I guess it's just because like they were spending so much time together shooting, and they were like, ah, maybe I like
No,
you, maybe I
during
don't.
quarantine, they were together.
Yeah, okay, I saw that and I was like, oh, they're back together. And then I like, so she was also in like a Hubie
She's her
Halloween.
age, but I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse about yourself.
Bro, she's so pretty and like accomplished. And no, it
She's
doesn't make
still
me feel
she's
better.
older than us. She is older than us, I should say.
Oh God, thank God. Okay.
Slightly. She's still the same
give me
year
like,
as us.
give me like oh, same year, like she's 20.
21. She turned 21 this year.
Okay, I can deal with that. I have a year to like glow up.
Oh
Anyways,
yeah, you're right. She is dating someone else.
yeah, she's dating like the CAO or like founder of the Dog Pound Gym.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Excuse
like
me. How old
yeah,
is this man?
I don't know, but I think he's like Indian. I wasn't sure.
Yes, you can tell just by that last name.
I don't know what his last name is. I
A
just know his
A
Instagram.
Ata Atid?
I don't know. I just I just know his Instagram handle.
No, like that's what his name is.
Ate?
Reese Atid. Atid. Oh my god. Wow. You know what?
Cool, 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 cool. But
Okay,
yeah, so I
now I
was
know
like,
how to pronounce it in last name. There we
it's
go.
okay. I just didn't say it because I didn't want to butcher it, but you go off.
When did this start? I'm
I
stalking
don't
her
know.
Instagram. Jeez.
Girl, we love to see it. No, I found out about it because I saw her on my like explore page for something. Oh, for Hubie Halloween because I was watching it or whatever. And so I saw it and I was like, hold up, hold, hold up. And then I did a deep dive and I found out, oops, I guess they broke up. Cause then now Max or whatever, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Max? No, not Max.
No, I have no idea who you're talking about.
The ex boyfriend that was in the show.
Not, I don't think it's Max.
Mm, hold up,
She really
Google
does
to.
look way older than 21, though.
She does, but she's so pretty.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
so
she's really pretty, but I just don't.
yes. And then Isabel May, who plays Katie, is younger than us. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. She
yeah,
also looks older than us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think that's just because she's tall. Jack Griffo was his name. My bad.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, Jack Griffo. He's like ever since they wait. Hold up. Hold up. I think he's dating someone new too.
Okay, she still has pictures of him up.
He does not. Yeah, I don't think he does. Oh, nope, he does.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to,
Yeah, so I guess they're both dating new people, and he's gotten like really into working out now. That's it. That's all I got. But yeah, things be changing.
shoot, yeah. People, I mean, they broke up, and then people were like, oh, and then they got back together, and they were like, what?
Word. Yeah,
Oh,
that's where we
wow.
are
She,
now.
she like removed the tags of him in her pictures.
Yeah, but that makes sense because then, like, when you go to like where you're tagged, he doesn't have to
What
be
was his
like
name again?
reminded. Jack Griffo. Also, I don't know if this is like his sister or if it's like his girlfriend. I don't think it's his sister. Never mind. They don't have the same last name. Um. Oh yeah, you make me the happiest boy in space.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna go with
100%.
girlfriend.
Yeah, 100%. You don't write that type of captions for your sister,
You know,
bro.
I wouldn't know. Damn it.
I'm not
Anyways,
gonna read it out loud, but her bio on Instagram,
I saw it. I was like, oof.
and she's
I see.
private.
Oh shoot, she must be like. Honestly, I would assume that she was
But
like an.
look at how many followers she has.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's like an influencer or like an up and coming like
She
actress or
probably went
something.
private because of like whatever. Maybe because of the recent post that he made.
Yeah, because yeah, you could. Yeah, that makes sense. Getting a lot of hate because I know a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people, but I feel like people would be invested in the relationship.
hmm I think that, considering how quickly all of it ended again, it could be something to do with like why their relationship ended the
Yeah,
second time. Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, because I was really surprised when I was like, hold up, they're not together anymore. But yeah,
I'm They had a dog together, bro. Like, can we
yeah, I don't know how people do that. Like, it's a
That's what
whole
I'm saying.
custody
And so
battle.
now where does the dog go? Do they share the dog?
Does he? Do they get him on the weekends or like do they alternate weeks? I don't know. I
Okay, these
would
guys, they were dating in like 2017.
who
Paris and
Paris and
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were together for a while before Alexa and Katie, and then they got on the show together coincidentally.
Oh my god, a bunch of the Disney people went to Coachella in 2017. I'm sorry, I'm like looking through his.
Yeah, no,
Is that
a
so
bunch.
weird? Like they're such teenagers, but like they couldn't act like it publicly.
Yeah, yeah,
You
man.
know they'd be doing stupid shit too.
Yeah. Like that's one thing that makes me really sad about like teams that make it big or like like music artists or whatever. Like especially with the paparazzis. Like okay, like with these TikToker kids, okay? Like I don't like them necessarily. Like I'm not like, "Oh my god, go Jaden Beck or whatever, whoever, whatever, Griffin something." Not
Hmm.
I'm not like going like go off like live your life. No, but the amount of times that they get stopped by like the paparazzi and just asked like personal questions about like their relationships, and I get that it's like the paparazzi's job, but like the paparazzi's everywhere. Like if they're in the grocery store, they'll be the paparazzi will be there. If they're just like cashing a quick meal with like an old high school friend, they're there. Like
Mhm.
literally
Especially if they're really big, yeah.
yeah, like I was looking at so I listened to like Why Don't We? And like
Mhm.
one of like I saw like some recent posts on like my timeline or something where like a paparazzi guy showed up at one of the people's houses and they were like, "Yo, can you not show up at our house? Like that's just like a whole other like breach of privacy." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Dude,
because what happens is that these people that because they already don't respect their privacy if they're willing to follow them all the way to their house, they don't like go out of their way to block out road names or house numbers, and like what that does is it opens it up for like really big okay, I put in quotations fans because I think if you're a fan, you should respect
their
an artist's
privacy."
privacy and their right to just like live
Yes.
peacefully for some time in their life. Like if you truly appreciate an artist, you're not gonna go to their house. So like, but there are some of these quote unquote self-called fans that love them so much that they're willing to stalk them or like go to their house just to see them.
Yeah. Like my thing is like if you're a fan, give them
Security
that personal
risk.
space. And like if they're say they're in a public place, if the star or the celebrity or whatever is in a public place, grocery store, eating out with a friend, you can come up with them and be like, "Hey, would you mind if like we took a picture or something like that." But going to their home or like even like their place of well, not, if they're like an actor, I guess place of work is different. But like if you show up to like their studio, if they're a music artist, or like if you show up to their house, or like even their friends' houses, because like their maybe non-famous friend got is like hanging out with them. Like that's weird. Like
I find it even weirder when they like try to have like conversations with them, like to like
yeah,
suddenly interview them, and it's like, bro, no. Like as a
yeah.
paparazzi, please don't.
Oh yeah, as a paparazzi, where it's like I don't like it when it's like they act like
Oh, were we talking about like
friends.
fans that like jump up on them when they're like busy doing
Oh my
something?
god, I swear, like you never jump up on someone. Like that's or like the ones that like try and like grab their clothes and like rip off stuff. Like bro,
Oh, yeah, to get something off of them.
yeah, just to, like get something or be like, oh my god, I touched him. Like no, like you gotta chill at that point. Like I get the hype. If I saw like one of like the big celebrities that like I like their work or I enjoy their work, I'd be like, holy, they're there and I'm here and hi and like something like that. But like I don't think I'd go as far as like let me just like slide tackle your ass down like real quick right here and make it happen and be like, oh my god, such funny like running into you or like oh my god, I have a piece of your shirt now. Like
Yeah, people really try it. It's really bad to like when they try to take something off of them.
no, or like, because some people get as crazy to like just like pull a strand of hair, and I'm like, bro, that hurts. Like, I don't, I cannot.
It'd be like that.
I really do, man. I
Child
just,
stars, just like growing up in the spotlight
yeah,
is, like obviously becoming popular at a young age or like working at a young age, like in this entertainment industry, is like such a crazy feat in life, and like because you're so successful and like you're so well off at such a young age, you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
that much. Like monetarily, you don't have to worry about anything. But like, yeah, growing up in the spotlight, not being able to experience mistakes and growing outside of the
Yeah.
spotlight, it's kind of sad to see that. And like, like ideally, I think when you're more like in your mid to late 20s and you get popular, like it's kind of nice because
You
you've
at least,
grown up already, you've
yeah.
created a personality outside of the spotlight, so it shines more when you suddenly are. But it'd be like that sometimes.
They really do,
Life
man.
works out the way it does. I think we've rambled on and on about
We have talked
so
so
much of
much.
nothing.
Yes.
Um, I'm gonna have fun editing this, but that's on me. uh,
You're welcome.
no, I think like even there's parts of me just saying the same like two syllables over and over again, which
Mm.
shouldn't be there. Like I shouldn't be going like it's like me going like and like and like like and it's literally me being like that because I'm like trying to collect my thoughts and I don't know what to say. Like and I don't think any of that needs to be in there. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to cut it out.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I feel like the one person like that didn't necessarily like do it right or whatever, but like I just listened to Justin Bieber's "Lonely," and I think it like epitomizes the roughness of like growing up in the spotlight. So, for those of you that listen to our music recs, check
Oh
that
yeah,
out.
that
Like,
and like oh my god, I saw this tweet. Okay, something I guess again, tangents. I saw this tweet. I think it was by MTV. It's like
mm,
one of those tweets where like they do like two titles and like the handshake emoji in between the
mm,
two titles, like
mm.
concepts. And so they said Jungkook's My Time and Jungkook's My Time and then Justin Bieber's Lonely and then the handshake and then on the top is like talking about growing up in the spotlight. And I was like, oh, that's too much.
Oh
Tears.
shoot!
Because
Oh
it's true.
shoot!
That's Jungkook's My Time is also about like
Growing up, he was. But I feel like that part is like it's sad, but it's also appreciative. But like Justin
no,
Bieber's,
but it's about how he lost time as an adolescent.
yeah,
It
yeah,
literally is about how like he got lost in like the
yeah.
spotlight.
And he was in the airplane mode while his friends were taking the train. I'm sorry.
All right, okay. End of tangents.
All right. I
We're
think
done.
we're
We are
gonna end it here
done. Yes.
and say that like, hey, Alexa and Katie, dope show. Really touches on like
Hopefully your little Alexa thing doesn't go off from hearing us say that name so many times.
it's muted right now, so we're okay.
You, but like
And yeah, but I think definitely a solid show to watch when you're talking about these like
this has been like 2% of that show though.
you know, still gonna give the recommendation. Let me have this, man. No,
I just
okay.
feel like 90% of this has been something completely different.
True, true. But anyways, good show. Definitely good if you want something reminiscent of old school Disney
True. True.
sitcoms. That's it. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
peace. Bye, y'all.
Bye.